Alright guys, it's time to talk about Solv Protocol on the channel once again. Now today I already did a video on Audius or audio, and probably I should have waited until tonight to make that video, guys, because I didn't actually talk about the downside in that video, but we have had basically total meltdown in Bitcoin today. As you can see on this 4-hour chart, guys, we are just, going straight down here. Now, in the next 4 minutes, you will see this 4-hour candle close. And yeah, we did actually fill the gap, guys. I just want to show you the gap that we have filled from back in November. Now, you could see Friday the 8th of November, we closed, and then we opened up here on the 11th. Now, we filled most of that gap on Friday, February 25th. Now, we didn't completely fill it, and I did worry, guys. I told everybody that I do worry that we can still go down, fill this gap completely before we start going up. And I've been talking about this for quite some time now, guys, and I can see that my fear was correct. And right now, today, we have filled this gap. If I zoom in, you will see it did puncture this box. So it is completely filled at the moment, guys. Now, that is good news. I do think that that was probably the bottom, in my opinion. Now, it can get worse. I don't know if Trump is going to announce something today, some more tariffs or something like this. Who knows, guys? Now, we do have a gap to the upside as well. So you can see at the moment, guys, let me just... This is not a very big gap. This is a few $100 basically, but it's still a gap. So let's just put this mark here, and you can see basically that is a tiny gap. Now it's not perfect. I can adjust this slightly, but you get what I'm saying, guys. So maybe we go up now to fill this gap, because this gap is completely gone. I can erase this now. It doesn't exist anymore, but we do have this gap here. Now, I want to talk about Solv Protocol on the channel, and actually it has been quite resistant to what's happening today. It's a very strong project. If you know Satoshi Stacker, guys, he often tweets about this project being a very strong project, and this was the only launch pool project that I kept, that I did not sell immediately. Although, yeah, I probably should have sold, took profit, and maybe bought down a little bit lower. Yeah, I could have bought a lot more, guys, but I didn't want to risk it, especially after Satoshi Stacker talked about it, in the way he did. Now, anyways, I have my bags filled with this. I might get a little bit more. My wife also has some too. And let's zoom in here on the daily chart, guys. Now, we are finding resistance with this part, not this part, this line right here, guys. It's at about 4.37 cents. You can see how many times we have hit this line, and we just haven't been able to get above it. Now, this is a weekly resistance. Now, keep in mind, when we talk about weekly for Solv Protocol, this is just several weeks old. So, even though it's a green line, it isn't so strong. Like, for example, if you're looking at the chart with Ripple or XRP, or ADA, or Polkadot, something like this, guys. This is a very, very, small chart right here. I mean, this just started trading on January 17th. So it's not even 2 months old yet, guys. So the volume is almost nothing. If we look at the volume, let's just look at the volume on the visible range here. I can narrow this down so you can see it. Yeah, we are actually trying to push through the biggest little node here. And once we do that, guys, I think we are going to really start to rocket. So yeah, I think Solv Protocol is going to be one of the better, newer coins. Like I said, it's remained strong, for a new coin. Now, for example, when you look at something like Pengu, you know, this one just continues to go down. It feels like it's a never-ending bottom, but you can see that Solv Protocol has pretty much found its bottom here, guys. And I would say the true bottom for this is probably around 3 cents. And yeah, so I want to also point out that this is possibly making a cup and handle pattern. Now we have to see, I've only drawn this line for illustration. Now, if it comes up to about 13 cents and does something like this and breaks out, the target, guys, would send this up to about 23 cents. So let's see what happens. We really need to see Bitcoin, you know, start to pump a little bit. We need to see it get healthy again, guys. For support for Bitcoin, we do have a support here at 76,500, let's say. Now, if we puncture through that, guys, I haven't even marked off any supports, I think, under, just because, you know, I wasn't anticipating that we get that far down. You know, when I made this chart a few weeks ago on this PC, this new PC, and yeah, if we do puncture this, I'll start to look at other supports. But right now, I think that we are probably pretty much at the bottom, and let's just hope we are, guys. Now, Ethereum looking much worse in my opinion. Now, I haven't even marked off any daily or weekly resistances or supports either, but I do feel this is probably getting towards the bottom. Let me put this on a daily, you know, daily candle chart here. Now, there is actually a lot of support in this area where you can see it has fallen back to. So, you know, if we don't get a bounce here, guys, then yeah, I think that would be bad. You know, I think this could end up going all the way back down to, you know, $800, $900 if that's the case. But there is a lot of trading here. So I don't anticipate us just to cut through here without, you know, finding any bounces or supports. But yeah, anyways, let's move on, guys. Now, that is the CME chart. Okay, that is Ethereum. The crypto market cap, guys, basically it's finding support here at 9.69 billion. So we're not even in the trillions anymore, unfortunately. And, you know, let's hope we get kind of a bounce now. We do need to start working our way back up. Now, for the dominance, guys, it did find quite a bounce here. It's at one of the highest points it's been in some days here now. And that is not good for us, guys. The people that hold the altcoins, you know, I thought we were actually kind of rounding out here. And now it appears it still wants to make another move up. So there is kind of this line in the sand right here where we have come up to a couple of times where I did put this, you know, possible double top here. Let's delete that because maybe it will be a triple top now. But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I thought we were going to kind of round out here. But now, I don't know. I think we could get a move up to retest this resistance here. And if we get past that, guys, then it's this 64.29% that's next maybe. Now, taking a look at the dollar index, it is kind of getting a bounce here. But hey, we just had 5 straight days of downside for the dollar index. So, of course, naturally, it is going to get a bounce. You know, you can see basically it hasn't had 5 straight days of downside in a very long time, guys. Well, actually, here you did have 5 straight days, but before that, you know, here you had 4. Here you had, okay, like 5, but they're not so drastic, you know, candles like you see here. I mean, okay, this was 5 days of downside, but it went down very little. So, yeah, I mean, you don't see anything like that for some time. I mean, these are huge candles. So I can go back on the chart and look, but it doesn't really matter at this point, guys. We need to see this fall down. That makes Bitcoin stronger. So yeah, let's move on here to the liquidation heat map, guys. So getting up to, you know, 830 million in 24 hours rekt. Not good, because people are longing and shorting, and I wouldn't recommend it right now. Although I do feel strongly we will bounce now after we filled this gap. I don't know if I would put money on it just yet, guys. Now, fear and greed is a 20, 27 yesterday. So we are still in extreme fear, guys. Now, the altcoin season index, let's update this. Okay, it's still a 24. It's just been kind of bouncing around. Earlier today it was a 27 though. And yeah, it's just kind of, I saw this a little bit earlier too at 22, 24, kind of bouncing around between those two numbers really. Now, bull market peak indicators. Let me refresh this and see if anything is still hit. But guys, I refreshed it, still 0 from 30 are hit. So I don't know, guys. I think I am still holding everything that I have. And basically this pi cycle top indicator, guys, in my opinion, we're going to maybe get a prolonged cycle at this point just because of what I see here. Now, you can see it almost crossed, and this was in 2019, but it didn't, and it prolonged the cycle. And here we almost crossed back in June of 2024. Let me just zoom in so you can see this. And we were very close to crossing, actually, but we managed to, move away from the green line. And again, we are starting to curve away from that green line. If I zoom in, you can see here it's starting to curve down. So let's take a look. Tomorrow we do have JOLTS job openings, so this is actually very important. Now, today we did get some numbers, and it was the consumer inflation expectations, also the New York Fed 5-year expected inflation. This was all positive news. This is 0.1175 positive, so that is good. We also had a couple of other, Eurozone was positive here, investor confidence. Industrial production in Germany was also positive, but mainly in US, guys, this was actually very positive. Now, let's see what tomorrow brings. We do have job openings, like I said, and the rest of this week, guys, we have CPI, we got PPI on Thursday, and then Friday, Michigan numbers. So, taking a look at the, Fed watch tools, guys, 95% believe we're not getting cut. There's still about 5%, though, that believe we are getting a cut, which, I don't think we are at this point. But if we look at May, guys, 45% do believe we will get a cut, so that is interesting to see. It's not that far away from this 53% basically, and there is still like 2.2% that believe we're going to get a 50 basis point cut by then. So let's see what happens, guys. Now, crypto bubbles. The last hour looks perfect because we're getting a bounce. The year is actually still green. It did turn red a little bit earlier. Now the day looks horrible, of course. The week even worse, and I really don't want to look at this. It just looks terrible, guys. But let's just look at the hour. And now, if you want to stake your Solv protocol, guys, go to Coinondo. You can type in Solv, and you have Solv Protocol. There actually is only a few places really to stake your Solv Protocol. I actually have Bitru, but I haven't put it in there yet. But yeah, you do get 20%, and it is flexible, so that is good to see, guys. That would be my personal choice if I could put it there and move it, without some big fees. But unfortunately, it would cost too much probably to move it around. Now, I can move it in other ways, but that's not to talk about right now. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell, share this with your friends. Don't give up hope, guys. I know it's hard, right now with the market being so down. People are down thousands and thousands of dollars. I am literally down like $25,000 to $30,000 from the top, guys. But I am, I still have hope, guys. I do believe this pi cycle top indicator will be the main indicator, guys. And yeah, we have no other indicators signaling this is the top. So yeah, don't give up hope.